Umay pre, walang tapunan dito. Dito na lang kaya natin itapon, wala naman nakakita.
Pre, walang tapunan. Dito na natin. Saka hindi naman nila alam na tayo magtatapon dito.
Tapon na natin. Tara.
Diyos ko, baho dapat dito!
Lawak naman dito.
Oo, nyari sa'yo. Dami mong rashes, baka dengue na yan.
Gaga, over naman sa dengue. Allergic reaction to. Kumain kasi kumani kanina. Ay, allergic ako. Teka, upo ka na, ubo.
Tignan mo na ba kasi yung paligid? Puro basura.
Kapala, sa bagay, puro nga naman basura. Tara na nga. Pero, paano ba nangyari?
Bakit nga ba?
Bakit nga ba?
Dahil yan sa improper waste disposal.
Ganun?
Magandang araw! So today we will explain to you what is improper waste disposal. So para saan nga ba tong interview na namin na to? So ang purpose neto is to explain how waste disposal impacts Earth system and to explore sustainable solutions. So let's delve into improper waste disposal. It basically means disposing of waste in ways that harm the environment, human health, and Earth's natural systems. For example, land, water, air, and living organisms. Have you ever noticed how some government officials or barangay halls did put out a sign na bawal magtapon dito? Pero hindi naman nila pinapansin or they're just ignoring it. So today we'll interview our fellow students what they think of improper waste disposal. So without further ado, let's start our interview. Bye!
For you, what are the main causes of poor waste management?
So, poor waste management is caused by several key factors. So we have here human activities, lack of environmental education, insufficient waste infrastructure, and weak enforcement of laws. So first, human activities talaga play a big role like urban growth, industrialization, and yung increasing consumption. All of this contribute to producing a lot of waste, as in sobrang dami talaga. Second, lack of environmental education. Kulang pa rin yung environmental education for many people. They don't really know how to manage waste properly. Kaya nauuwi sa careless disposal, like basta nilang itatapon kahit saan. And third, insufficient waste infrastructure. The waste management systems are kulang pa rin in many areas. Not enough facilities to collect, segregate, or process waste properly. Kaya nahihirapan din tayo to handle the volume of garbage And last, weak enforcement of laws. Even if we have laws about waste management, minsan hindi siya strictly enforced. So people get away with improper practices and the problem just continues. So, in order to improve our waste situation, we really need to better education, stronger infrastructure, and of course, consistent and effective law enforcement. Otherwise, we'll just keep going in circles.
How does improper waste disposal degrade land quality and affect the lithosphere?
Land pollution and soil degradation. This refers to the contamination and deterioration of the land surface. Leachate from landfills contaminating soil minerals. Leachate is the liquid that forms when waste breaks down in landfills, and it contaminates the soil and its minerals.
How does improper waste disposal contaminate water sources and affect the hydrosphere?
The hydrosphere is affected by pollution, overuse of water, and climate change. These cause problems like dirty rivers, rising sea levels, and dying marine life. Protecting water source is important to keep ecosystems and people safe.
How does improper waste disposal contribute to air pollution and affect the atmosphere?
When we burn waste, lumalabas ang harmful gases tulad ng carbon dioxide, methane at dioxins na nakakasama sa hangin sa ating health. Naho-hold din nila yung init sa atmosphere kaya nagkakaroon ng global warming at climate change na nakaka-apekto sa weather, animals at buhay ng tao.
How does improper waste disposal harm living organisms and affect the biosphere? Improper waste disposal harms biodiversity as animals ingest plastics and lose their habitats, while in humans, they face diseases and health risks.
Pollution in Manila Bay and the Pasig River harms marine life, reduces biodiversity, and weakens the ocean's ability to stay healthy. Meanwhile, flood control failures in the Philippines causes flooding, soil erosion, and environmental damage that intensify the effects of climate change. On a larger scale, the Pacific garbage patch pollutes oceans worldwide with plastics, endangering marine animals and disrupting ecosystems.
How does improper waste disposal disrupt natural cycles such as the carbon cycle, the water cycle, and the nutrient cycle?
So, carbon cycle refers to the natural process where carbon moves between the air, the plants, and the animals to keep the earth balanced. So, improper waste disposal disrupts this by releasing methane and carbon dioxide. So, these gases trap heat in the atmosphere, which causes global warming and climate change. So let's talk about the impact of the water cycle if the pollution enters rivers and groundwater. So first, what is water cycle? Water cycle is the natural process where water moves through evaporation and condensation through rivers, lakes, and underground water. So improper disposal disrupts this when the garbage enters the rivers and lakes and groundwater. This makes the water dirty and unsafe and potentially harming the living things that depend on it. So improper waste disposal also can change the nutrient cycle. So the nutrient cycle refers to the natural process where nutrients move through the soil, plants, and animals and back to the environment to keep the economy stable. So improper waste disposal disrupts this cycle when toxic chemicals mix with the soil. This not only reduces the soil fertility, but it also harms organisms, making it harder for plants to grow properly.
What scientific and technological approaches can be used to manage improper waste disposal?
Scientific and technological approaches. First, recycling technologies. It's the methods and machines that collect, process, and convert waste materials into reusable raw materials, reducing the need for new resources. Second, waste-to-energy plants. Facilities that burn or process solid waste to generate electricity or heat, turning garbage into a source of renewable energy while also reducing landfill use. Third, biodegradable materials. Products made from natural or eco-friendly substances that can break down quickly and safely in the environment, minimizing long-term pollution.
What law addresses improper waste disposal in the Philippines?
Implementing Republic Act 9003, Ecological Solid Waste Management Act of 2000, and local environmental ordinances in the Philippines. Means putting laws into action to manage solid waste effectively. RA 9003 provides a framework for waste segregation and reduction, recycling, and composting, aiming to address the country waste management issues. Waste properly, kaya nahirapan din tayo to handle the volume of garbage.
What practices can individuals and communities do to manage waste properly?
3 years. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Participation in clean-up drives, tree planting, and ecological projects.
How can earth science methods be used to study and improve waste management?
Earth science-based waste management. This is actually a method where nakarely sila sa scientific principle to better understand and control the environmental impact of waste. Naka-involve dito yung pag-study ng water and soil contaminants. May dalawa tayong proseso dito. The first one is sample, where iko-collect yung scientists ng soil and water contaminants para i-analyze ito. And the second process is laboratory analysis. Of course, after mong makakollect ng sample, you wanna analyze it in a laboratory to detect if may chemical and biological compound ba ito, like yung heavy metals, pesticides, and other harmful compounds. Next one is GIS. GIS is a geographical information system. GIS is a tool na ginagamit to help visualize and analyze spatial data. What I mean by spatial data is yung spatial data nagko-contain ito ng information sa mga specific location. And yung GIS, inaalaw tayo nito na gumawa ng detailed maps para makita natin kung saan merong waste disposal sites.
Basically, improper waste disposal harms the land, water, air, and living things, while also disrupting Earth's natural cycles. It is caused by human negligence and weak system, but through science, community action, and strict laws, we can protect both people and the planet by doing so.
Integrating earth science in solving waste problems is important because it helps us to understand how waste disposal affects soil, air, and water. Kaya maging responsable, pangalagaan ng kalikasan, at magtapon sa tamang basurahan.
Remember, it is our responsibility to keep the balance of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, and biosphere because the future of our planet is in our hands.